Opinions, viewpoints, and beliefs presented on this program do not necessarily reflect those of the management, the affiliates and broadcast partners, or the sponsors. Listener discretion is advised.
Scarefest Radio, the radio you can see.
And hello and good evening, everyone, and welcome to Scarefest TV. I'm your host, Wes Forsyth, and you might as well give up on that. Zoom is just being temperamental. We'll call it that tonight. It's being an ass. So all the videos are like flipping sideways and jumping over top of each other, but that's not your problem. That's mine. It just means during the episode, you'll be looking at all of us, including Claire and Terrence. Our guest tonight is Mr. Terence Muncy, artist supreme, the man behind the trading cards, the man behind the new T-shirt design we got. So I do want to go ahead and tell you all. Okay, if you're watching and you're a volunteer for the Scarefest, we have a staff meeting this weekend. Staff meeting. Now, I understand if you can't be there. I'm not an ass about it, but Zoom might be important information to discuss. And we do have a celebrity announcement tonight. Now, I'm gonna give you a quick story without name dropping. We had an absolutely fucking awesome celebrity for tonight. I'm just going to tell you, it would have blown. We couldn't have fit all of you people in the center after he announced it. He confirmed his contract. He signed his contract. Was it Wednesday night or Tuesday night? Tuesday night, I think it was. We said, okay, we need a contract. We got the contract back Wednesday morning. Adrian wanted to go ahead and announce his ass, and I said, no, you better wait. Let's do it on the show. Continuity. Keep everything on the up and up. And sure enough, he canceled Wednesday morning or afternoon. But yeah, he canceled the next day.
Oh.
He had charity. He had done some charity. It wasn't even that. He had done some charity work, and this was an opportunity he was going to have to see the outcome of his charity work. And so it's one of those deals where you feel like a real dick if you say, no, come to our convention. Forget the kids. Fuck them kids, as I said that one time. Anyway, but yeah, so we do have a celebrity announcement. We would have had another one tonight, but this guy, it's like we're talking to the agent. He said, yeah, everything's cool. They said, could we have a signed contract? Oh, he hasn't even seen the contract yet. Agents, what can you do? So anyway, that's where we are in the world. Hey, Terrence, how you doing, buddy?
Doing fine. Thanks for asking.
Oh, well, you are the star of this show. You are the man of the hour. Okay, Terrence. Okay, when does one decide that they're going to be an artist as a profession?
Don't.
I didn't ask if it was a good vocation. When did you make that decision, though? That's the question.
When I retired from real work in 2000, I decided I never wanted to work again. So I would check my artistic abilities and try to succeed and make a living doing it, which it's been a long road, but 23 years later, I'm still doing it. So I did something right. Like I told everybody, this is, over 700 shows I've done. I swear I was one of the first people doing 11 by 17 prints in 2000. and then now everybody does them. And so I changed up to 11 by 25s for my 20th anniversary. I come from a comic book background. I did some independent comics in the 90s. Little independent companies like Vision Comics and Legion Studios, stuff like that. It wasn't like Marvel or DC or nothing, but that was my dream to work for those companies. It didn't work for me. I did have a chance to go to Image Comics in 1992, but I did not go because I was having my first child at that time, and I didn't want to leave him. So I kind of missed that opportunity, and I told myself that I just probably missed my one opportunity to draw for comics. But I worked independent books and magazine covers and CD covers and VHS covers and VHS, as I said that because that's how old I am. It's a lot of local bands, and then I got into haunt building, special effects, makeup artistry, and filmmaking. So it's like I got a little bit of everything going on. So, but yes, definitely, I just decided that I wanted to do artwork the rest of my life, and that's how I did it. And here I am today. So.
Yeah, and now was Jake in the chat room. When you do what you love, you never work. You know what? That is what people with real jobs say to make themselves. Everything is work. Now I'm not saying you can enjoy your work, but no, it is still work. I can give you an example.
It is work.
I have a leather shop.
It is work.
I have a leather shop, and people will come in and they go, "Oh my God, I love the smell of leather." When I smell leather, I smell work. I smell sweaty, hot, hard work.
Is that like leather sex outfits, Wes? Is that what you do for them?
You know, a lot of people ask that, and maybe that's what I expand into, but it takes a whole nother area of machinery than I use. So, no, I do the simple stuff. I do production leather. In other words, the stuff I can make bam, bam, bam. No artistry, just zone out doing it, that kind of stuff. So anyway, but
great.
Now, okay. How, I'm going to ask some really dumb questions tonight. I'll let Claire be the smart one.
There's no dumb questions.
This is the smartest person in the room tonight. I know nothing about art. Now, actually, I knew what art was back when I was in high school. I knew how to do, pencil and all that stuff. The stuff we see when we go by your booth, you've got these great posters, beautiful artwork. How does one of those take us from beginning to print out on one of those posters that we'll see in your booth?
Well, I'm still a traditional artist. So now as far as the coloring and stuff like that, that is digital colors. But I'll hold my own against anybody. I'll take a piece of paper. I can draw right in front of you, any character she asks. The problem is with the world today is everything is now it has turned towards digital art, like drawing on tablets, coloring on tablets, or computers, whatever you want to draw on. But I do still hold my own as being original pencil artist. So what I start is I just take a piece of scrap paper, an 8x11, 8x10, whatever, and computer paper and doodle, and I just draw the sketch that I want. And then when I do that, I decide to either, it's like, do I want to traditionally color it with colored pencils and markers, which takes a long time, lots of money, spend lots of money on that stuff. I just decided that I wanted to learn how to digitally color stuff because the clients who hire me now love the vibrant colors, and that's where my vibrant colors come in. You see my artwork at the show. I stopped selling originals back in 2003, 2004, because I'm not a name artist, so there's like going to buy from me.
Here we go. He's in a hotel, everyone. Yep, there he goes. Okay, he'll be back in a second. There we go. Are you back?
Yeah, I don't know. It's just signal. But so I kept taking all these original 8x10 black and whites, pencils, whatever I had, and I wasn't really selling them. So it was a waste of time for me. And then I realized that I could do prints after I colored them and sell them and make fan art. I wish I could make all new original stuff, which I can, but no one's going to buy it. I mean, you might have the one or two people that wants to buy it stuff, but someone's rather going to buy Art the Clown or Captain Spaulding or Spider-Man or Wolverine. So until that day happens where I can't do those anymore, I'm just going to continue to do fan art. That was a big change for me. Because those big companies really don't care that you're doing those characters, because all it does is make the little kid go buy a toy of that character or an action figure or a t-shirt or anything like that. So I've only had to be shut down twice for doing anything, and that was because I just didn't do the research. One of them was because I was at a show in Atlantic City, New Jersey, and Sean Cunningham was there for Friday the 13th, and I had written Friday the 13th on the poster. And he came up to me and he goes, "Hey, I own half of that or a percentage of that." And I don't remember, it's been a long time. But he says, "You have to take those down unless you want to give me a percentage of my artwork." And I was like, "Oh, wow. Good." So that was the first time that ever happened to me. The funny thing is, there was a guy buying stuff from John Dugan right next to me. Because me and him, at the time, we were con buddies. We did all the cons together. And the guy that was buying stuff from John was like, "So you're not sell those prints then?" I was like, "Yeah, I can still sell them." So I ended up selling all the prints to that guy because he thought they were going to be worth some money. So that was funny for me that day. But and the second time was I set up in Atlanta, Days of the Dead, and AMC was there. I did a Walking Dead picture and I used their logo. So you just got to do your research. And like I said, if it wasn't for the fan art, there wouldn't be Comic-Cons, there wouldn't be horror conventions, there wouldn't be because anybody makes like a lamp with Captain Spaulding's head or a ceramic thing or a necklace with Captain Spaulding or Michael Myers or Jason, you would have to shut everybody down. All you would have is celebrities. Mm-hmm. No one's gonna. You'll get a fraction of people who buy original art, buy original crafting, buy original T-shirts, but you would never be able to be a successful show. And I think that's why they don't crack down on everybody, because they know that in the long run, the properties make more money on you doing it. Now, if you make $1 million, I'm sure you're going to have a guy in a suit come say, "Hey, man, you can't draw Mickey Mouse doing that anymore," Mm-hmm. And that's how it is. But one, like I always tell everybody, I'm still a traditional artist. I start off at black and white, start off in ink. It's always on a piece of paper. I either scan it or I take a picture with my phone. I take it home, load it in the computer, and I color it, and then I print it off to my printer. And I can make any size that I want. And that's pretty much how the process goes. And some drawings take 30 minutes, some drawings take 3 hours. It depends on how many characters are in the picture. So. Okay.
We're going to take our first commercial break now. And when we come back, I'm going to turn it over to Claire, because I blew right past her time slot there. Everybody, we'll be right back with more Scarefest TV.
Horror. Movie. Fans. 4. Life. On Facebook. Find us. 4 watch parties. 4 news. 4 memes. 4 friends. 4 life. Horror movie fans for life. Join us.
And welcome back to Scarefest TV. Claire, it's all you now.
Well, getting back to the topic about rights and everything like that, because I've kind of noticed some of these websites like Temu, that's a big one, it's pretty much all in China. Shein is another one, and they were doing a lot of nightmare just I don't know, just big character Disney names and things like that. And I don't know how they're profiting off this, because they're selling stuff for $12, $13, where if you went to the Disney store, you'd be paying $50, $60 for stuff. So I guess what my question is, does AI scare you at all about if where digital art that things might change?
think AI. I think AI should not be a part of the conventions. AI is not original art.
Exactly.
And I will fight that to the bitter end. I will argue the fact of that any day of the week, because anybody that can go and sell an AI picture, they didn't do nothing but type a word in.
Literally.
They can't draw for a kid. They can't draw for an adult. I don't know. I really have strong feelings for AI. I think the future for things, that's great, technology and all that stuff, but it don't. It's just the worst thing. And, but I understand what you're saying. I didn't mean to cut you off. Sorry.
Oh no, that's okay. No, I 100% agree with that. Or I guess just like some of the stuff just looks so real. So, you know, unless if an artist is upfront with like, hey, like this took me this time to do, but if they're not, like, you know, it's just kind of scary. It's a new realm that we're going into, you know. But
it hurts us physically, mentally, and financially. If you go buy a $20 AI piece from some jackass, you're killing everybody that actually works for a living. And then people can come to me at Scarefest and say, "Hey man, I heard you say that on Scarefest Live, and I don't like what you said." Like, you know what? Fuck off, because AI is not art. Yeah, it's a technology that has destroyed everything, the factor of what we believe and do. So.
Oh, 100%.
Sorry.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
I guess if I was an artist, if I wasn't an artist, I guess I wouldn't care. But you know, that's how I make a living. So.
I just feel like we're at the entrance of it, and like where's it gonna go? Yeah.
It's bad. It's bad. So I think that promoters need to start looking at people's artwork and items that they bring, like posters and stuff like that. If you bring in 11 by 7, whatever size, and if you bring it in and you can tell that it's a computer generated piece of artwork, just refund their money and don't let them be a vendor, because that's the people that's going to hurt your business down the way, because it's all it does is making it harder on us. It's already hard enough as it is, because table prices are going up, conventions, driving, doing stuff, getting hotels, blah, 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 blah. And now you got to compete against some guy that wrote the word, I want Freddy Krueger fucking a cow. You know, whatever. And someone will buy it.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't want it till you actually mentioned it, but that vision's going to be in my head now.
Oh, you need me to draw that for you, Wes? I'll have it for you.
Special card in the collector's deck. Since Claire's talking about AI with you, see, now I feel the same way. And I don't know because what I do is not art. You know, look at this. I make shit up as I go. But when they first started doing those online portraits, everybody was putting their profile photo and running it through and getting the, and I'm like, there are people right now that will do that for you on Fiverr.com for $5 or $10. Starving artist.
What?
And you know, why would you let a free computer? Because I'm not gonna say I wasn't tempted, but it felt wrong. And then and then the artists like you started coming out and talking about it, and you know, it really did sink in to the precipice that we're on.
I was at a show, and I honestly can't remember the name of the show, but it was somewhere. It was in Michigan, and this guy had this 10-foot booth of artwork that was all AI generated artwork. I'm talking like Freddy Krueger, Jason Voorhees, everybody, Pumpkinhead, and you knew they weren't movie posters. You knew, because if you're a fan, you know, and there weren't illustrations and stuff like that. And this guy, I ain't making this shit up. He had to sell $10,000 worth of prints.
Wow.
In over 2 days, because it was $40 a print, or like 3 for $60 or some shit like that. And it was just, you know, cash. I watched him. He was across from me, and I drank a little, and so I went over and said, "Hey man, you know, you're hurting the people who actually draw this stuff." And you know what he said? He goes, "Too bad for them." You know, and I'm like, "Oh, okay,
yeah,
okay, yeah. See what car you in, and then blow up when you go outside." You know.
I mean, at that
Just
point, like,
joking. I
what's
would
the
never do it.
difference between like going on Google and just like printing, Google images of Freddy Krueger? Like, it's at that point, it just there's no.
Yeah.
I don't get it. Yeah.
I know this is going to sound weird. I'm not saying it's a negative thing because I do like posters. I do like having like if I can't afford an original poster or like a
No.
Darn it!
Poor Claire.
Are you there?
Now, okay, continue.
Well, I think it just shut me down. No, but Skynet. I don't know.
Yeah.
So I'm a big poster fan, and I love original posters. And I have friends who sell like 11 by 17 versions of these posters, and I think it's great because it's easy for someone to get it signed, and I think it's cool. But then those, once again, that's okay. When I draw something, it's 10% different from actual original. It's always going to be different because even in a court of law, if you draw something 10% different, it's yours. If you go and copy a poster and you sell that poster, even if you sell 2 for 20, whatever, 11 by 17s, you're selling a property of someone who painted that poster, like Drew Struzan, Frank Franzetta, or any of these artists are painted, Boris Vallejo, whoever. And I know that people like to collect them because 11 by 17 is a great size. But I honestly think that's just as wrong as AI for me, because I feel that if you want to have a real movie poster, then take a real movie poster and get it signed. Mm-hmm. But selling artwork that I'm sure these artists have already been paid billions of dollars and all that stuff like that, and they already get the residuals and all that stuff. But I just, for some reason, I don't think the 11 by 17 posters and the reprints of posters aren't a good thing to do. And I don't want to, I mean, like I said, anybody out there have friends with doing posters, keep selling them. I'm just telling you my personal opinion. I don't think it's fair to the people, the studios who created those posters, who actually made those, and you're just profiting off of them. Now, I profit off characters like Freddy Krueger, Michael Myers, all those every day of the week. But once again, I physically drew those characters in a way to where they're 10% differently than actual. So they're actually creating it. Yes, I don't own those characters, but they're actually my artwork. So I fight the good fight when it comes to it, and I'm glad people can make money. But I do believe that AI and reproducing posters for sale is not a good way for the market, because that's the only way. It's going to keep making people harder for people to survive to make those things. But there's probably some guy that gets $10 a month because he produced that poster back in 1979, and you're fucking blowing it out the water. He's getting it done. So, if someone, like I said, if someone came to me, like if I was at Scarefest there and I was drawing, like someone came in and it's like, hey man, I own Freddy Krueger. I know he did. I'm just saying, I'm just being stupid. And it's like, I really can't have you draw that. I was like, well, this is my interpretation of Freddy Krueger. So, but it is your character. So you can work it out with the person and probably do a percentage thing or whatever like that. But they're not going to stop me from drawing that character. But if it is like, if I go in there and be like, bam, check it out, I got a Nightmare on Elm Street 3 poster, I just redid it, it's the exact same poster.
Well, yeah.
Then it is.
Now, I'm going to give you another loophole. Next time you're drawing Freddy Krueger and you start to feel guilty, pretend you're drawing the shitty Halloween mask that you saw of Freddy Krueger. Because then you get layers of legal protection there.
Yeah, it's Frank Krueger, his brother, not Fred.
What was I told Katie? Dress as female Michael Myers and call herself Michelle Myers.
Michelle Myers.
So anyway, okay.
I don't want to be Michael Myers.
Now, one thing I did want, because I didn't know until, I mean, you mentioned it in the opening. Films. You dabble in filmmaking.
Yes, I've actually made 6 full-length feature films. You can see them on sleazebox.com, which the name just not works for me. But Sean's a really nice guy.
Is there an E in that? There's 3 E's. The Sleaze Box.
I don't know. Chris Woods and Sean Donahue picked up my films, and I'm grateful for it because I do get money every month from sales and streaming and stuff. But my movies aren't as raunchy as some of theirs. I'm not saying raunchy is negative. I'm just saying like it doesn't fit the narrative of what my films are for them. But you can see them on Gator Blade Films and Sleazebox. My very first film I made in 2007 was called Hell Walks the Earth. I was a huge George Romero fan, so I wanted to make my own zombie movie, and I made a black and white film, which it blew me away. It was really good, and we did really well with it. And then I moved to Florida, and I made my second film, Bikini Monsters, and it took off. So, and then I made a movie called X with Bobby Easley. And
that's about Twitter.
Yeah, that's which is funny because there's a movie called X out now that's not mine, but we did X back in the day. And then I did Slice. That was my 3-day film. I actually took Jim Warnarski course on making a movie in 3 days, and we made Slice, which turned out really good. And then I worked on a movie called Masters Devils with Ari Lehman with Legion Studios. And then we did Final Cut, which is my new movie. It just premiered in June. It comes out on DVD October. And but yes, I love making films. I don't plan on being like the richest guy in the world from them. I just love making movies. They're fun for me. So definitely I'm going to have some of my movies at Scarefest this year. It'll be the first time selling them at Scarefest because I always sold my artwork, but I am going to bring them. So
are they scripted? Like, did you like write the script? Did you write the script and like direct it and all that? Like, or is it pretty much just off the
written, directed, produced, shot, special effects, did everything. The Bikini Monsters was the most expensive film. I actually had to have permits, and I actually had to have insurance on the film. And I had to take a 3-week Wildlife Federation course just in case I stepped on a turtle or a plant in Florida. I passed it, but it was crazy. I had the film commission, Guy Balsam, who was in charge of the film commission at the time in 2008. He gave me 12 permits, and those 12 permits were 12 days. Oh, wow. And I only had 12 days, but the film took about 26, 27 days to shoot, but I only used 12. But I did so well with the permits on the days I did use them that the people who let me use locations didn't ask for the permit the next time I came back. So I was able to shoot in the area without any problem whatsoever and get a rent-a-cop for those days because I thought I had a permit.
Wow.
And the film commission pays for that. So yeah, I actually had then we shot a scene on St. Pete Beach where there was a guy that walked his dog every day, and he kept going into frame in the shots, and we told him he couldn't be there, and he did not like it. He was an older gentleman, and we had paid. Well, we had the permits to film in that park all day, so we had the right to close it off. And we had to rent a cop, and the guy arrested him. And so it's like I feel bad because this guy walked his dog every day there, and we just kind of fucked his day up, But that was a highlight. And
Swarm,
so,
it's fun. What movie was that where the guys Swarm? He was on Seinfeld, wasn't it? I think it was on Seinfeld when they tackled the old fella, his uncle.
Oh yeah, Seinfeld.
All right, well we're at a good spot to we're gonna take a quick sponsor break, and then we're gonna give you tonight's announcements. We're gonna talk first about Scarefest sponsoring vendor, the Zombie Cow. The Zombie Cow. They have opened. They've got their website up, thezombicow.com. Thezombicow.com. And okay, I understand the zombie cow. Okay, I understand that part. It's a cow. It's a zombie. But I clicked on their announcements page, and they got this little worm bird thing, and I just got it. When I talk to them, I have to find out what the worm bird thing is. But anyway, basically, you're looking. The way they describe themselves. There's 3 of them. They each have their own little specialty. They're passionate about what they do. You got Ashley Kane, Charlie Kane, Sean Cohen, famous for their tumblers, but they got a lot of other stuff. Go on their website, look at the gallery. They got actually go to the shop. The gallery, they need to work on the gallery. When you click the shop button, you'll get a good gallery of their stuff. But they got purses, crossbody purses, sugar skull skeleton crossbody purse. I'm looking at it right here. Lots of art stuff. Got some pendants. Got some. Hey, they got woodwork now. I didn't know that. Edmund. They get a small bamboo charcuterie board. Did I say that right?
You did. Good job.
I am shocked. TheZombieCow.com. Big supporter of Scarefest, and we want to support them. Check them out online. TheZombieCow.com. And for our announcements tonight, Mike Aloisi. Now, Mike is, he's known as, Author Mike. That's it, because he's actually an author. He's best known for writing, helping, co-authoring and writing biographies of some of our favorite people. Official biographies like Kane Hodder's, Tom Savini's, and guess what? Steve Gonzalez. His new autobiography that he's got that he's bringing to Scarefest. This is a guy that helped with that. So he is going to be at the Scarefest, and check him out. Our Brett Wagner official sledgehammers are not sold out. Now, I do not know how many. I know they took off hot, but the autographed plated. Somebody, okay. This is me. I should not call out fans like this. I don't know if they're a fan or not. When we posted this, somebody's, and it said, exclusive, Scarefest exclusive, limited edition. Somebody said, is Scarefest the only place I can get this? And yes, I was a douche, and I said, yeah, that's kind of what all that means. It's an exclusive. So, but yes, we do apparently are not sold out. Adrian told me to drop those tonight. So the Lost Leatherface, signed by the Lost Leatherface, Brett Wagner. It's a prop sledgehammer. It's wood handle, prop head. So you're not likely to kill somebody with it, but you could do some damage. But anyway, we do have those for sale there on add-ons in the ticket thing. And another event that took off selling quite briskly but has not sold out. Talk Scary to Me Live. Talk Scary to Me Live with Scout Taylor Compton and Daniel Harris. That is not sold out. So if you want to do, it's a talk show done in lingerie. I should start doing that. That might be my next gimmick. That might be. I can't even get Claire to wear her thing her cosplay that I use on the banners. But anyway, so that is not sold out. Reed Masterson's tickets are not sold out. What's that, Terrence? What?
Are we supposed to wear lingerie on this show?
Well, maybe. I'm thinking about it. Anyway, Reed Masterson, celebrity. You're not even wearing pants. You already told me. Celebrity illusionist Reed Masterson. Our magic show tickets are not sold out, so you can still get in on that. So go on our ticket page, and you can find that right in there on add-ons. Central Kentucky Mystical Market. We got one more before Scarefest coming up September 30th and October 1st, Saturday and Sunday. Lexington's premier monthly psychic and holistic event, Newtown Pike, Lexington, Kentucky. And you're gonna make me go that one this time, aren't you? I'll probably be there. So yeah, I've been busy. Anyway, Newtown Pike, Clarion Hotel. My Patreon project. If I get enough subscribers, and I'm almost there, I think I'm doing the cosplay now, but I still just don't have enough to do the cutoff shirt. I originally said 100. I backed it off to 50. I'm only at 28. Now here's the thing, people. You can actually subscribe, and it counts, and you can do it with a free subscription. You won't get all the posts, but you will see some of the posts, and it just lets me know that you actually are there for me. And that you want what this is. I had a cardiac episode back in March of this year, and this is basically documenting my recovery, the stuff that you got to go through, all the way from the electrified purse to I'll be talking about in just a moment. And now, I'll still say it, if I get 100 people now, I will do that cosplay with a tramp stamp. Go to patreon.com/scarefestradio, or you can go to my Facebook page. I usually have links there. I've got.
Do I get to draw the tramp stamp?
Yes, because you would do it and it would actually wash off later. I might even let you do that. There you go, everybody. If I get 100 subscribers to my Patreon project, patreon.com/scarefestradio, my tramp stamp will be done. You'll draw something really dirty back there. Terence Muncy.
I promise I will make you the best tramp stamp ever.
There you go. For the best tramp ever. Okay, now, this all leads up to, I kind of moved up my schedule. I was not planning on running a 5K until next year. My training is doing quite well, and I'm not sure I can run the whole thing. I might walk, run, fake it. But anyway, I'm actually doing a 5K. The guy that's sitting here in this room smoked for 41 years. Right at 41 years.
You're going to do 5 kilos?
I'm doing a 5K. I'm running.
Oh.
So anyway, and that's a picture of Gloria Frank. She sponsored me to do this. I love Gloria, known her for a long time, but it benefits the neonatal ICU babies. So I'm even doing it for the right reasons, for a worthy cause. And
so you do care about the kids.
Do what?
You do care about the kids.
No, I really hate kids. But I understand we need children.
Charity.
I don't like kids, but I know we need children to become us. So.
True.
Okay. Well, I gotta ask. Terrence, tell me the plot line of Bikini Monsters.
Well, that's the best part. There's two friends. They're out fishing, and it always starts like that, right? And they go out to the beach to fish, and one of the kids actually sees a mermaid tail. So he jumps in after him, and he disappears. So like 20-something years later, all of a sudden there's a group of women getting captured on the beach, and it falls back to him creating the perfect mermaid because he always saw it. So he steals women and tries to make the mermaid that he saw. It's like a very evil version of Splash. No, but it's. I'm gonna give you a copy of the movie. You just let me know. It's fun. Mike Christopher, who is the Hare Krishna zombie in Dawn of the Dead, is actually and he plays Captain Nicholson in it. So.
Okay, now I'm going to answer some chat room questions. I don't mean to take time away from Terrence. I am not going to tell you people who the guest was that signed and canceled. Just in case, I don't want to make him mad, because he could change his mind. His schedule could change. And ever since I learned, occasionally, celebrities do watch this show. I learned that when Jan Birch got mad he didn't get mad. I called him when I had no idea what the Stairmaster meant. And so yeah, that he took offense to it, but he did, once we explained what a Stairmaster was to people like me who knew nothing about his movie at the time. Anyway. But so no, I'm not going to tell it. But now if Adrienne wants to during one of her lives, she can have at it. I am not going to tell you who the guest was. And the other guest, we still have one more, and he's a horror guest. Somebody said, oh, no horror guest. This guy wrote the autobiography, the biographies of half the people that you're coming to see. So technically, he's a horror guest. So there. And but the remaining guests, we actually have 3 in the pipeline that still could happen. We got one that's going to happen. We got to sign the contract, and we have 2 more that could happen. The invitation, but everybody else we've said no, we're done. But because we want these other 2 people so badly, I'm going to end up. Adrienne Barbeau is going to end up sitting on my lap, just to have room. That's just, I'm sure of it. Okay. Let's see. What now? Is it a sort of topic to ask you about Grayskull collectibles?
Yeah, it is, but I don't mind talking about it. It has been a rough month for me.
Well, I know
I started
that was a passion project, and I hated to see
it
it.
was. I've always been into action figures my whole life, and I'm very good at it. Vintage action figures, toys of all kinds. I was Toys R Us manager for 20 years. Walmart toy manager for 4 years, KB toy manager for 2 years. I mean, I've been toys my whole life. I was collecting my whole life. And I helped a lot of toy companies or toy stores apart and create toys for their stores. And they made lots and lots of money. And I just, one day I was like, man, I can do this. So I took a chance, and 5 years ago I opened a little store in the mall, call it the Dungeon. And it was and it was a little tiny toy store, and I decided that I had to grow. So I always wanted to. He-Man is one of my favorite things in the world. Anything Masters of the Universe. So I decided to make Grayskull collectibles, and blood, sweat, and tears, no credit. And I was the only store open during COVID. I kept alive. I don't know how I did it. And in October of last year, the sales started plummeting. I couldn't make no money. I don't know why no one was coming. It's a niche market. I don't know. I really don't understand. It bums me out. And then the air conditioner unit went out about 4 months ago, and they wanted me to pay for it. And I was like, I'm not paying for the air conditioner unit. It's not my building. I'm a tenant. I'm not doing it. And they ended up replacing the air conditioning unit. And then like 2 weeks later, I get a letter in the mail saying they're raising my rent to $4,000 a month.
Whoa.
And I was like, $4,000 a month? I mean, I can barely make profit off of $2,000 after utilities. I mean, looks crazy. So I didn't fail. I feel like I failed because I loved it so much, but I don't know what's going to happen now. I mean, I do have a lot of toys that I have to process and get gone because they're in the garage, storage, and all that stuff like that. I still want to do toys, but until I can, the business market, the renting and stuff is so high right now that to me to start over would just be bad. So right now, just keep following me, and maybe we'll do Grayskull collectibles next year somewhere. Maybe I'll do more toy shows. I don't know. All I know is all the people who have followed me, supported Grayskull collectibles, and bought stuff from us and made us who we are today. We were the best store in Indianapolis, Indiana, and it does suck, and I miss everybody. And so it's been a rough month for me. And this last like 5 shows, like out of 5, only 2 have been really good. So been 3 butthole shows, and that hurts. And so all I can say is I hope the rest of the shows I have for the rest of the year is good, and I got to plan something for next year big. I definitely need to get to some of these promoters and get in, like how Scarefest does for me. Hey, I'm worth it. I've been there doing it 20 years. I can bring people to your show, bring in, because popping out $1,000, $800, $600, $400 for tables, I'm not making any money, and I don't want to stop. I love doing what I do, but that's my Grayskull stuff, and it is sad for me. So.
Well, I saw the announcement on Facebook, and I hated it. And now, did you at one time actually haul some of that stuff to Scarefest?
I did. Okay. I sold some toys. I think it was maybe 11 years ago.
Well, I knew it several years ago, but the reason it stuck in my mind is I remember announcing you as a vendor. For whatever reason, I remember that. Yeah. The Grayskull logo and everything, and I said, "Well, I don't make that stuff up." Well, I mean, I might, because at my age, you never know.
No, that was just one of those shows I brought toys with artwork, and it's just I don't do it much anymore because I have to focus on just the artwork at the shows. So, but I do toy shows. I mean, sometimes, but mostly art shows. So,
All right, we're gonna let's go ahead and we're gonna do our last commercial break, and our and Bonehead Weekly. We got our movie review, so let's do this, and then we'll be back with a few more minutes with Terrence. My buddies over to Spirit Mechanics, spiritmechanics.com, have opened the Missing Elements shop, actual brick and mortar shop in Lexington, 1018 East New Circle Road. 1018 East New Circle Road. Little strip mall, unit 114. But they're a great place to stop for Stephen's Healing Vibrations, metaphysical supplies. They have books, divination, altar supplies, tarot, oracle decks. As far as I know, they still have a big selection of oracle decks and tarot decks. Handmade glassware, spirit boards, and Stephen's Healing Vibrations. Stephen Tyree, he does vibrational sound healing. Not something that I would normally say, oh my God, go see. I'm telling you, I've tried it. It is fun and it works. It actually relieves some leg pain, hip pain that I was experiencing. And I was darn impressed by that little session that I had. 1018 East New Circle Road. Check them out online, spiritmechanics.com. Friends of the show, friends of mine, spiritmechanics.com. We're going to go ahead.
Hey, Scarefest, this is Joe Lewis of Bonehead Weekly. Oh, man, with the movie I wanted to like. I like the performance in it. So if you've got Netflix, you can right now watch Russell Crowe in The Pope's Exorcist. But should you? Now, let's be honest. You're probably going to, because Russell Crowe is so cool, and exorcism movies, for some odd reason, always kind of bring people in. Well, not always, but we tend to want to watch exorcism movies. And this one is written by several different people, but one of the original ones was Michael Petroni, who wrote The Rite, which is another Exorcist film with Anthony Hopkins, and he wrote another Exorcist film called Possession, and it's directed by Julius Avery, who directed a movie I really liked called Overlord a few years ago. Should you see this? Well, basically what the movie's about, it's a bullshit made-up story based on blah, 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 about a guy that kind of existed called about a priest named Gabriel Amorth, played by Russell Crowe. And he's the Vatican's leading exorcist. And he goes sent off to Spain to investigate the possession of a child, and then finds a conspiracy about all the things going on with this. There's only really one reason. There's only one kind of compliment I can get the movie, and it's Russell Crowe. Russell Crowe's seeming to have a good time, makes a lot of jokes throughout the movie, and doesn't seem to be taking his part too seriously, in a good sense of that we feel like that is a three-dimensional guy who's seen hell and back, and he's dealing with it, and he has a certain way, and we find out things about his past as we go. Problem is Russell Crowe is a good actor. The guy that plays his assistant is a good actor. The movie just sucks. It's kind of boring. It's very rote. It's extremely predictable. Oh my goodness, the Vatican covered something up. It's shocker. I've seen so many other movies like it. There's no real suspense. You don't really care about the family because you never really get to know them. The dad's dead and they inherit a castle that's basically an old church where they covered up things at the... It's bullshit. I don't want to give too much away. Maybe some of you will enjoy it. Maybe some of you will like it. I will say this, it zips along. It doesn't overstay its welcome. It just sets it up for sequels that, he's going to be Pope exorcising all kinds of people. And the Franco Nero, the original Django, plays the Pope. Should you watch it? If you're into exorcisms and Russell Crowe, sure. Is it a good movie? No. It isn't long, and it speeds around. So, it's not terrible. It's not the worst thing I've ever seen. Just only don't go out of your way to watch it. And by the way, once again, I want to say, I think Russell Crowe is fine in it. Does an Italian accent. I don't know a lot of Italian people, just one. And it sounds fairly decent to me. Speaks a lot in Italian. That must have taken some research, or maybe he speaks fluent Italian. I don't know. Maybe he learned it on the Gladiator set. Got no idea. Only check out The Pope's Exorcist if you just really love exorcism movies and Russell Crowe. There's the kid does and you just don't care. It's like, oh, they can take the family to hell. Who cares? You just don't care. The reason why the original Exorcist works, written by Peter Blatty, directed by William Friedkin, is because you care about the family. You take a whole hour setting up the misery that Reagan goes through. There's none of that. There's like 10, 15 minutes in the movie. The kid's already, you know, there's no, you just don't care. I just don't care. So Pope's Exorcist, and the last 10 minutes is setting up the sequels. So Pope's Exorcist, check it out. Only if you love Russell Crowe and exorcism movies. Talk to you later.
Welcome back. Now handing it back over to Claire.
So going back to the idea of we were talking about tattoos earlier. So clearly you have a whole bunch of tattoos. Do you have anything of like your own work on your body?
Who, me?
Yeah.
I ain't got no goddamn tattoos.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I don't know. Sorry. Yeah, this here, I don't know if you can see it or not, but this was my very first comic book character that was released. Her name is Demonica. It was written by me and Erica Heffel, and I got it tattooed on me. It was, and that's some of my own artwork, and then my own Skeletors on this side, and just awesome. So I have two artists that do work on me, Micah Faulkner and Bobby Easley, and usually they just capture what I draw. So that's the only two people I go to.
Yeah, I feel like that would definitely take a lot of trust, where like you're handing over, like, don't mess this up. Like this is my work. Very cool. Yeah. And then the last question I was gonna talk about a little about your the trading cards. So tell us more about that.
It's going to be big this year. I'm going to tell you right now, because last year they took off. I mean, it's crazy. I had 18,000 cards distributed throughout the show. It went crazy. I mean, people were like just hunting these things down. It was the best thing ever. So me and Brandon got with each other and we talked about doing it a second time and hopefully keep doing it. This year it's bigger. There's 36 cards that are regular. There is, if you get all 36 cards, you get an exclusive metal card. And that metal card is the same picture of the t-shirt design I did for this year's Scarefest.
That's awesome.
So it's a very limited card, and you have to show me all the cards, or you just show me all 36 cards, and you get the metal card for free. And then there's 9 vendor cards. Those cards are the special cards. Those are vendors who have donated money to support the. It's a great thing. I don't know why more people didn't jump on it. But there's 9 vendor cards for this series, and then there'll be another 9 cards for next series, or however many vendors buy into it. Every vendor gets 500 cards, and they can distribute however they want. Their information's on the card with an artwork piece by me. Nice. Like I was telling Wes earlier, he didn't make it into Series 1 as the Scarefest aluminum, whatever you fucking call the word. I don't know what I'm saying. Alumni, whatever it's done. Part of the group.
I think the word you're looking for is Illuminati.
Yeah. He does have a card this year, so he'll have 500 of those cards. So don't blow your wad giving them to everybody up front. So, and I won't have any of those cards. That's the thing. Anybody like a vendor card or a celebrity card, anything like that, I won't have those cards. And I won't have any of the cards. So every now and then I'll put a couple out on my table of the set. But there's 36 cards. There's 9 vendor cards, special cards, and then there is exclusive metal cards you can get with when you show me you made a whole, like last year I gave you a piece of artwork if you showed me the set. Nice. This year you get a metal card for, and here the cool thing is the checklist will be at my booth. So you have to come to my booth for the checklist. You can take pictures and take it if you want to look for them. And like I have Sonia Thompson from The Walking Dead is going to be sitting at my table, and she has her own card also. So she'll be able to have that card. Another cool thing that we're doing, there's only going to be 9 of them. There's a set of wooden cards. My friend Tim Higgins actually made these cards hand by hand, so it's not like mass produced.
Yeah.
They are a little pricey, but they're very limited. They'll never be released again. I was going to have one tonight to show you guys, but I left it at home. I did not bring it with me. But only 9 sets of 9 cards, and they're all wooden with characters on it, drawn by me, wooden engraved cards. And they're going to be $100. So he gets most of the money because he created them. But those are very limited. If anybody's interested in those wooden cards, you might want to get to my table first because they're going to go. I can guarantee they're going to go. So
Awesome.
very collectible, and there'll be a Series 2 next year for those. But Series 2 cards, very big this year. A lot of nice pictures on them. There has been some pictures online on Scarefest. I've showed a few, like little sneak peeks. Mm-hmm. But I think it's going to be a fun thing. And when you get them all together in your binder, I'm going to have both Series 1 and Series 2 together. It's going, it's just going to keep growing.
Yeah,
so
that's cool. It's like Pokemon Go, only cooler.
Yeah. I can tell you, Series 3, I'm going to give you guys all a little hint. Series 3, there will be mechanics of a game based into the cards. So by not just collecting the cards, you can also play against people. Like you have Freddy versus Jason. And there'll be mechanics, like there will be special cards like cabin. You can only use a cabin for Jason to fight. It's like Magic the Gathering, but it's going to be a little bit extra. If 2 takes off like 1 did, 3 is going to be massive. And it's going to be literally a collectible card game that you can collect Scarefest trading cards with the game and have vendor cards and stuff like that. So.
And
awesome.
Once I see the cards, I will make up rules to make it a strip game. So,
let me know what you want to do, man. We'll put it on there.
I'm just saying,
if you get the West cards, you have to put
get the card. You get the cards, and then I will make up a set of rules that you keep under the table and hand people when they ask about the Scarefest strip game. Anyway, everybody,
I feel like Buster wants to take off his clothes.
He does.
$20 is $20. What can I tell you? Anyway.
It's $30 now.
Boys got to eat. Anyway, everybody, this has been a fun episode of Scarefest TV. We will be back next week with. I have a book. Oh, by the way, it's I hope it's her last name right. Lori Cordell from Day of the Dead. Or is that what she's in? I might have said that wrong. Anyway, she's an actress. Got her next week. And Claire's gonna be back co-hosting next week. Because
back to back, you can't get rid of me.
Yeah, I gave Chad's out of town. He got first choice. Claire was up next because it's a horror guest. That means Katie, you're up on the 22nd. Just so you know, everybody, this has been Scarefest TV. We will be back next week. We should have that final known celebrity announcement. We still got a couple in the pipe that could happen. We hope they happen, but no promises. Have a good week.
See you guys.
And thanks, guys, for everything, and collect those cards.